All right, we got the racks removed. We got our plugs, dielectric greased. We're ready to go. My mic is actually running out of battery and so is my receiver. So I'm gonna charge those up here real quick. So recently I opened up my camera bag to grab my DJI mics, and when I opened it up, I was running out of battery. But I can quickly solve that problem. Using your mic all the time is gonna have you to recharge it, and I couldn't really figure out a mobile way to do it until I got the USB adapter from Milwaukee that slips on to the M18 batteries. With this charger, you can now plug in any USB to USB-C, USB to USB, whatever. You can charge your phone, your drone, your camera batteries. And that is a quick, easy setup if you already have the M18 line of drill batteries, saw batteries, whatever you use your batteries for. This adapter allows you to be able to plug in any USB. It is a 5 volt 2.1 amp, so you get that 2.1 amp output on this plug here. And as you can see, we are charging our DJI mics now. All right guys, we got the racks removed. We got the dielectric grease and all the plugs. So all our connections are more waterproof now. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys how to put the racks and fenders back on the ATV, and then we'll put our side panels and their seat back on. All that in this video, so let's get to it. If you missed my last video on how to remove the racks and all that, be sure to go check that out. And if you need to dielectric grease your plugs, be sure to go check out my previous video. All right, we're gonna stick this front fender back on. Get all your holes lined up. It's gonna go under this piece of plastic here, under the gauge. So it's got to slip under that and should line up these holes up here in the front. You've got two little tabs up under here, and you've also got two tabs that slip into the light part here. So you may have to lift up to the back so that front will go down and clip into those slots right here. This plastic piece here that holds the gauge, it's going to sit on top of the fender, right like that. Line up your sides. Should be all good there. Then we've just got these little push clips, and then you're just going to slip those right on to those tabs. All right, you've got the two little screws holding the corner of the light up. You got to get that little plastic piece over the screw mounting hole right there. Then just snug these down because they're going into plastic. There's one of these on either side. These are the little screws with the T20 bit. Just snug those down. The 3 bolts holding the fender to the footwell on both sides. Next, you got this little plastic piece up here and this plastic cover here. This is going to slip on top of that. These back here are going to be your screws from your side panel, so you don't want to screw those in, but we can connect these up here on either side. Then slip our front cover on. It's got these little tabs you got to slip in, and then these tabs on either side that'll pop into there. So you've got these 4 holes along here in the front that your tabs are going to slip into. Make sure they're all down, and then it should slide forward a little bit into place. and then you've got these two tabs on either side. Those will snap down, and then two mounting screws back here. You got two little T20 screws. Those are what holds the back of this in. Again, those are going into plastic, so just snug those down. You don't want to strip them out. All right, then we can slip this piece in. It's gonna go back. And there are two little tabs on the top that will slip into the fender piece. So you can kind of get one side in and then push your other side back in there. Raise that up slightly. And then you've got two more T20 screws. They're the smaller size that mount this in. Snug those down. We'll put our rack bars back on. They've got these mounting holes underneath for our bolts to slip into. So make sure that those are down, and you've got your little screw holes for the rack itself on the top. It just kind of sits in place right there. Then we're gonna go underneath and use these mounting bolts that we pulled out from before. We're gonna add a little blue thread locker to them and put all 6 of those in. Get our blue Loctite on each of these and get them started. One up here. And then snug those down. Next we can stick the plastic rack on. Get that lined up on all those screws. I like to get them started before I run around with the drill to tighten them up, and it helps to line up if your bars underneath don't quite line up. Snug them down in there. All right, there we go. It's all about charged up, about 3/4 of the way. Charge any accessory you have if you use Milwaukee batteries. If you don't use Milwaukee, I don't know what you're doing. We put this stuff to the test every single day and it works great, so be sure to check it out. I'll have it down in the description if you want this adapter, as well as the impact I've been using in this video, so be sure to check that out too. So I got this tape. It's a Nashua tape. I'll leave it linked down below, but it's actually a waterproofing tape with a better adhesive than the previous tape I used. So we're gonna stick it on nice and thick, good quality stuff, much better than the previous tape I used. The other tape I actually had to use a adhesive to spray on and re-stick it back up, because once I got it wet it peeled off again. This stuff has a better adhesive on it. This tape had a really light adhesive, so for light duty stuff, not for waterproof stuff, I would use this tape. But for heavier duty stuff, I'd go with this stuff. Alright, so this tape is working way better. I like it a lot better. It's got a little bit more reflective quality to it, and the adhesive is sticking way nicer. So I'll update my tape link. You can check it out below. I'm really liking this tape, and it's waterproof, so that's a plus. Alright, we got all our heat tape on here. The back is pretty straightforward to install, pretty similar to the front. You just have to pop off the gas cap end and just loosen up those clamps, pop that off, slip your fender on, and then pop that back on. It does have a little bit of rotation to snap back into place. You'll see that when you install yours, but just rotate that when you press it back in, put your clamps back on, and you just tighten up all your bolts and you're good to go. Alright guys, we got the whole thing put back together, racks and fenders all back on. So if you didn't know how to pull off your racks and fenders on your Alterra ATVs, hopefully this video helps you guys out. Also went through, dielectric greased all our plugs, so we've got better water protection. And the rattles are all gone from the exhaust since we reattached that heat shield in the proper position. So no more squeaking or rattling on the trails. We've got a couple rides on this since doing that, and it's been holding up great. That tape has been sticking really well, so be sure to check that out if you need to replace it. Hope this video was helpful for you. If you aren't following already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.